Okay, this is a good question. Similar to some questions we answered last year, so I don't want to get stuck on this. If a person of Ashkenazi or Temani descent, or a ger, a convert to Judaism, or something other than ethnically Sepharadi, adopts Sepharadi, I don't know exactly, maybe halachot, or I'm missing a word. How do they reconcile that with the fact that it's thought to be an ethnic term? So how do you reconcile your ethnicity with the Judaism that you're following? In the interest of true Jewish unity under a common halachah, perhaps it's time to ditch the label of Sepharadi and replace it with something new, like perhaps rabbinic Judaism. I love how rabbinic Judaism is new. I don't know the answer to this question for a very simple reason. When my grandfather was asked, so what kind of a Jew are you? Are you a Yemenite Jew? My grandfather, I'm Yehudi. I'm a Jew. When I was with Harav Peretz on the way to a wedding of one of his students, we were sitting in a taxi, and the taxi driver who hears Harav Peretz's accent turns to him and says, no, Harav, are you Moroccan? Harav Peretz answered, Lemay nafkamina, what difference does it make? I come from a world in which we never self-labeled as Sephardim. We are Jews. And when we were in Morocco or Yemen or Russia or Poland, wherever we were, they called us Jew. They didn't call us a Moroccan Jew or a Yemenite Jew. We weren't given the luxury of being part of their world. I gave a few shiurim on this topic, Jewish Stockholm Syndrome. We left those exiles to adopt terms that are not ours. I don't believe, and I just recently published an article in Principles, which is the Chavura's beautiful magazine, alongside a number of other tremendous Talmidei Chachamim. I'm honored to be included in that group. An article on the failed experiment of mizug galuyot, of cross-pollinating the exiles. And I had many more thoughts I wish to share, but I highly recommend, if you haven't read it yet, if I can be so vain as to recommend my own article on this topic. But I believe very much that our Chachamim did not see themselves as Sephardic Chachamim, but as Jewish Chachamim. And it's for that reason that I have no problem whatsoever telling anyone in the world who wishes to become a Sephardi, but not mechidush. I quoted to you Chacham Faur in the introduction and the footnotes of his book, Bisa Moshe Chazan. That Sephardic Chachamim were even those people who were not ethnically Sephardic, but identified with the philosophy of the Batei Midrash of Sepharad. So the fact that the world thinks it's ethnic, it's not my problem. It's okay somehow for a Moroccan person to become Chabad, or a Yemenite person to become Breslev, or I don't know, a Bukharian person to become Litvish. I don't know what they become nowadays. But it's somehow forbidden for a Polish or Russian or Lithuanian person to become a Sephardi. Why the double standard? Why? Because one group of Judaism marketed itself as a philosophy, and the other ones only as an ethnicity? Okay, so the problem is with us. Rabbinic Judaism, our Chachamim only viewed themselves as Rabbinic Jews. And if we could, we'd get rid of that title, Sephardic Judaism, just as quickly. Not because we're embarrassed of it, because it only serves to divide. In fact, when the Rabbanit and I sat down to found Shiviti, you'll notice that Sephardic is nowhere in our mission statement. Sephardic is not on the name of our Beit Knesset. Sephardic is not anywhere. Yes, we are Sephardim. So when pushed to identify as something, are you Orthodox, are you Reform, are you Conservative? We're Sephardim, that's what we are. Fine, but that's only because someone is pushing us to identify. But at the end of the day, we're just Yehudim. That simple term. Mordechai ha-Yehudi. Even more Yisraelim. More than that, I can't say. I hope for a day where for Am Yisrael these titles will become irrelevant. Not because one group crushed the other one and Sephardim disappeared, but because Judaism will get back to its roots of realizing that before Galut, we were a people, one people, once upon a time.